In dealing with the coronavirus, one of the biggest hurdles has been, frankly, capitalism itself. California Governor Gavin Newsom said on Saturday that the federal government sent the state 170 ventilators to deal with the crisis. Every single one of them was broken. All the ventilators were broken, and this is during a shortage of those very necessary machines. Now, authorities in California transported the ventilators to a facility to get them fixed by a San Jose company called Bloom Energy. Now, these ventilators will be functioning and back in Los Angeles by Monday, which was several days ago now.
We were able to get the security now that we are going to get an additional 100 sent up today back to the state cash. And remarkably, yesterday I was down in Los Angeles with Mayor Eric Garcetti bringing in the USNS Mercy. And there was a casual conversation about the 170 ventilators that came from the national stockpile directly to LA County. The conversation wasn't just about those 170. It was about the fact those 170 were not working. And rather than lamenting about it, rather than complaining about it, rather than pointing fingers, rather than generating headlines in order to generate more stress and anxiety, we got a car and a truck, and we had those 170 brought here to this facility at 8 a.m. this morning, and they are quite literally working on those ventilators right now. And Monday, they'll have those ventilators back into Los Angeles all fixed. That's the spirit of California. That's the spirit of this moment. Take responsibility, take ownership, and take it upon ourselves to meet this moment head on.
At the beginning of the pandemic, California had about 7,500 ventilators across the state's hospital systems and aimed to get another 10,000 ventilators according to the press release. To date, the state has added 4,252 ventilators, approximately 1,000 of which needed to be refurbished. Now, these ventilators came from emergency supply stockpiles from the federal government, and they were damaged and needed to be repaired, if not outright replaced. Now, the absurdity of this, now, other than the fact the incompetence of the capitalist government of the United States, in this time of a shortage, there were some guys who were 3D printing these ventilators, or at least the main component of them, for $1. That's what it costs to print them, $1. Yet the company that owns the patent on the ventilators, who sells them for $11,000 each, sued them in order to stop them from mass producing life-saving technology. I want you to look at exactly what is happening here. We are in an emergency situation where we do not have enough ventilators, and these guys were willing to go essentially out of pocket to produce as many of them as possible for next to nothing in order to get these ventilators to people. And the capitalist institution, the private company, the private property ordered them and went to the state to make them stop because they want their $11,000 per ventilator. So I really want people to think about that. What are we looking at here? We're looking at capitalism as the problem. Literally, the profit motive and private property is standing directly in the way of producing enough of these life-saving devices. And yet, if you were to listen to Turning Point USA or PragerU, they seem to be thinking, oh, you see what's going on right now? This is what would happen if you lived in socialism. Except that it's literally not happening in socialism. It's actually happening in capitalism. That's the really ironic thing here. That what they're claiming that would happen in socialism actually isn't happening. The opposite is. It's happening under capitalism. And since they are so ideologically blind, so intent upon bashing anything that would even question the free market, to even the most basic fundamental degree, that they will lie their ass off in order to protect it. One of the things that I think is really going to come out of this corona crisis, even in the first world, is that people are really going to start questioning the capitalist system. Now, this has mostly been happening with people trying to deal with rent, and rightfully so. But hopefully this is another piece that will push their consciousness along, that despite all the glitz and glamour that capitalism has, when it comes right down to it, it can't serve human need. Yeah, it can build billion-dollar yachts. But where is it when tens of thousands of people's lives are in jeopardy? It's nowhere to be found. In fact, continually has to defer to the state to make up for its own failings. Now, while that in itself is certainly not socialism, it certainly shows that the free market is fundamentally incapable of dealing with the crisis. And that should be on the forefront of everyone's mind. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.